The design of your product page is without a doubt one of the most important parts of your Shopify store, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the entire process of creating a good looking product page that converts. Now Shopify has come a long way in terms of how its free themes product pages look like, but no matter how the default product page might look like, you want to follow the industry standards and to customize your product page accordingly. So let me show you how you can do that. I'm here on my demo store. This is a store that I've created and it is using the Dawn theme 15.2.0. I've imported a couple of products on this store and this is how it looks out of the box. I've used de-essers to import products. So I have the de-essers app installed, I have the search and discoverability app installed, I have the Judge Me reviews and I've imported a couple of reviews, and the flow, which was by default there on the store. Now out of the box, the default product page looks like this. It's not bad, it has some of the elements we need, but in order to make it convert more, we will have to adjust it and make it look a little bit better. And I'm gonna start by explaining the product itself, and then we're gonna go in the customizer and we're gonna add and remove some elements. I'm gonna go to this product's detail page and that looks something like this. At the top, you're gonna have the title, then you're gonna have the description, which you can edit by either adding text in there or changing it in HTML and adding HTML directly. Then you're gonna have images down below, and in here you're gonna have the category, and this is not the collection. If you think this is your collection, it's not. This is how Shopify allows us to tell Google what category this product is in. So as you can see, it suggested directly the product that I have in here. So if I click on this, I'm going to tell Shopify that this is the actual category and it will be listed in the metadata for this product. And I suggest you do that because it's going to help your product page's SEO. Then underneath there, we're gonna have variants. And as you can see, I have two variants. Maybe you don't have a variant. That's fine, you're not gonna see this part, but if you have multiple variants, you're gonna have the variants in here. If you want to add multiple variants, you can do that by adding more options in here. For example, pink, if I would have pink, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. And underneath there, you're going to have the variants pricing. You can go to a separate page completely and add variant details in here if you have. Then underneath the variants, we have Metafields, and I'm going to talk about those later as well. And at the bottom here, you're going to have the search engine listing, and this is how your product page will be listed on Google if you're going to rank for a certain keyword. And then at the top again, we have the status of the product. If this product is going to be set to dropped, it's not going to be available on the store. If it's set to active, then it's all well, customers can purchase it. Then we're going to have the sales channels. This is where the product is actually available to be purchased. And if you go to manage sales channels, you see that everything is selected. This is the online store. This is the point of sale in person. And this is shop, an app that Shopify has, and you can list your products there as well for customers to find it. Then you have the markets you've set for your product. Here you get insights. In time, you're gonna get analytics that will display in here. The type is the type of product. So for example, if you have in your store phone cases, you can say here phone case, and then if you have chargers, you can say chargers. Then they will be categorized inside your store like that. Then you have the vendor. The vendor is you, if you are the brand. If you want to offer, for example, branded products like Nike, Adidas, or whatever, you can mark the products by vendor, and that will help you later sort the product. Then collections. If you have multiple collections, for example, this product can be in multiple collections. Right now we have just homepage. This is my only collection for this store, but if you have multiple collections, they will be listed in here. And then we have tags at the bottom. Again, tags are used for filtering, sorting, and for logic if you're gonna build custom sections or custom snippets on your store. Tags will help to pinpoint products for either creating new collections, creating new functionality, and so on. And this at the bottom is the product template. Products can have multiple templates. If you have on the store products that are different, for example, phone cases and chargers, they might have different sections, different layouts, and you can create different layouts by using different templates for them. If you just have one template in here, that's normal. You will have to create the additional templates that you might want on your store. So you're going to start with the default product template, and then whenever you decide, you can create from the customizer a new template for a new type of product. Okay, let's go back to the product page. This is how it looks right now. This is the desktop version. If I go and I inspect this page, I'm going to see the mobile version. This is how it's going to look on mobile. You can also preview it as on a device. Like if you click this button here, you're going to have multiple options in here like iPhone 12 Pro and other devices. You can select and play around and see how it looks on different devices. This is a simulation, of course. This is not the exact way customers will see it on a device. If you actually want to see it on a device, you can go here to the three dots and you can preview. And from this bar here, you can say share preview. You're gonna copy this link and then you're gonna send this link to your mobile phone, and then you're gonna see the actual site on your mobile phone and you can test it and see how it looks. But this is how the simulation looks like, and this is what you see over the fold. Of course, you have the add to cart button here on the desktop version, but on the mobile version it's pushed a little bit down below. This should be visible directly. We're going to work on that and we're going to try to bring this button higher. When starting to optimize a product page, you will have to think about your strategy, because if you are going to leverage SEO, you want to change a couple of things on the product page so that search engines get the right information and they rank you for the right keywords. In this case, you will want to check and see if this title is good. And to do that, I'm going to take this keyword and I'm going to go to my ads account. By the way, you're going to need a Google Ads account for this. And you're going to go to tools here and then keyword planner. And in the keyword planner, you're going to click on this bulb here and you are going to paste your keyword right there. Well, make sure that you are looking at the right country, the country that you want to address, and then the language, and then just click find results or get results. And these are the results for this keyword. And we can see here that there is one brand probably that is showing up. If I'm searching this is a branded product, and I'm going to have a look at this product page as well. So because we got this, I think the keyword might be good to try and rank for that. But you would want to look in here and find the keywords that have the higher volume of searches every month, and then make a list of these keywords. In this case, because I directly found another brand that is selling the same thing, I think having this in the title is very good. So you will want to have in the title the keyword that you want to rank for. In our case is this one. And then you can have the brand name if you want to, or some other details. But this is very important for SEO. If your strategy is based on ads, you don't need to do this. But I'm thinking that free traffic is good for any business, so maybe you want to do this as well. So let's say this title is a good title and we're gonna keep this one. I'm gonna go and I'm going to customize a little bit the layout. I'm gonna go to the product page and I'm going to look at what I have here. This is the section that is responsible for everything that is here over the fold. This one here at the top is this text block. So this is a section that has multiple blocks here. If you want to take this out, you just have to go to the block. If I click on it, you can see is the vendor. So just click this eye. This will hide it. If you maybe want to show it again later, you just click on hide and it's gonna disappear. Or if you want to delete it completely, you can click here on delete and it's going to remove the section altogether. Once you've changed the block or made changes to any of the blocks, this save button will show. Before it was grayed out. So if you go and you change something, it's going to become black, and then you can click on it and it's going to save the changes. The title, other than being a little bit too big and it doesn't have any settings, it doesn't look that bad. So in order to have this modified, I want to make it a little bit smaller because it's a bit too big. I'm going to go to the product page and I'm going to inspect that. I see that it's an H1 And in order to make this smaller, I'm going to add some custom CSS to this section. So all sections now, if you click on them, you're going to find at the bottom here, custom CSS. And if you open that up, you're going to have a field where you can change things. And this is going to change the CSS for this section. So if you say here H1, and then you're going to add your CSS in there, this will change all the H1s within this section and will not change any other section. And that's good because we just want to change this one over here. Anyways, we should not have multiple H1s on a page. So this being the only H1, I'm going to say that this H1 should be font size 24px. And it's going to make it a little bit smaller. Maybe we can make it 25, and then I'm going to say here font weight, and I'm going to set it to 600, and this will make it bold. If you don't like it bold, just add the CSS you like, and then when you're ready, you can click on save. And if I go to the mobile version, it looks also good here. Maybe I can make it 27 or something like that, and I'm going to save it. So now my title is properly sized, and that will not push everything down the page. This way I'm going to save a little bit of space and things will go higher on the page. So for example, here on the mobile version, I'm going to try and remove some of this padding so that we maybe get the add to cart button in view. This is what you should aim for. You should have the image, the title, the price, and the add to cart button in view directly without having to scroll. This is not very bad right now. It's not down the page a lot. You have to scroll just a little bit, but maybe we can fix that as well. Okay, now that we have the title, the next thing that we should have in here is a star review badge for our reviews. It's very important to have it there, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add it. On this store, I have the Judge Me app installed, and I've imported a couple of reviews for this product. If you wanna know how to do that, I have a video in which I do that. You can watch it there. And to add the review badge, you're gonna go to customize, and you're gonna have to go to your product page. And in here, again, in this block section, inside the product information section, you're gonna go and you're gonna click on add block in here. You're gonna go to apps, and out of this list, you're going to select the star rating, and that will add the star rating there. Then you're gonna save, and let's review how that looks like. Now we have the review on there. Another important element that you should add is the stock availability. To add that, you're gonna go here underneath the star rating, and we're gonna click on add block. And in here, you're gonna have inventory status, and you're gonna add this block. If you don't have it, you will have to update your Dawn theme. And once I've added that, I'm gonna save. The inventory status block doesn't work because we are using DSers. So if you have inventory stored in DSers, this block from the Dawn theme won't work for some reason. I'm sure that they will patch it later and they will fix it, but for now this doesn't work. And I'm going to hide this block for now. And I am instead going to go and add another block, and I'm going to add it right here underneath the inventory status, a block that they have. And I'm going to add a custom liquid block. And inside this custom liquid block, which will be added here, I am going to add what ChatGPT gave me. I prompted to give me kind of the same code inside this inventory status. I just want to show in and out of stock whenever the product goes in and out of stock. And this is the code that it gave me. I'm going to add it to this video. In the description of this video, you're gonna find it. So after adding this code, you can see here that now it says in stock. Again, Shopify already tells search engines that this product is in stock with metadata, but we want to let the customer know that this product is actually in stock, and we can do with this kind of block that is highlighted here. Now go to the product page, I can see it there, and whenever I go to a product that is out of stock, it's gonna say out of stock. Anyways, this says here out of stock by default, but this is highlighted a little bit better. So whenever a product is in stock, you're gonna see it right away by looking at this. So if you are using DSers and you have inventory stored with them, you can use this block here. You're gonna find the code in the description of this video. If you don't have products stored with DSers, you can go ahead and use the inventory status block that the theme has originally. So I'm going to turn this one on as well, and I'm going to go to a different product that is stored locally so that you can see how that looks like. So this one looks like this, and it also has a couple of settings. If I go to the inventory status, if I move it to 15 and then I save, then it's going to tell me that the inventory is low. So let me go back to this product. Now this has 15 products in stock. So if I refresh the page, it's going to say low stock, and you see the color changed here and it says 15 left. Unfortunately, this doesn't work with the product stored on the DSers. Obviously, this one is much better, but if you just want to signal that the product is in stock, you can just use this one. This will do the job. Obviously, this one has more urgency, but if you have products with DSers at the moment, this one doesn't work out of the box. You will have to go ahead and fix it, maybe with the coder or something like that. Probably they will fix it soon, but at the moment, this doesn't work with products imported from DSers. So at this point, we have the title. We have the social proof. We have here the fact that the product is in stock. And next, what I want to add is one sentence here that will comprise all the benefits of this product, so that I give the customer also a picture of what he is actually getting. And to do that, I am going to go back to my customizer, and I'm going to add here right under this custom liquid block, I'm going to add another block, a text block this time. And I'm gonna add that, and I'm gonna move it right underneath the custom liquid block. I'm gonna open that up, and I'm going to paste my sentence that will give the customer the main benefits that they will actually get when they buy this product. I'm gonna make that small, and I'm going to save that. Let's see how that looks like. Yeah, so it kind of paints a picture of what the customer actually gets. And I'm gonna go now, I'm gonna change a little bit the layout, because this side is a little bit too small and I don't like how the images are set on the page. So let's go and change the layout a bit, and then we're gonna tweak a little more here on this side. To change the layout, you will have to go to product information here, and you're gonna have settings for everything in here. So the desktop media should be medium. So this is the image. Medium means that they will be half and half almost. So let me check. If I refresh now the page, I'm gonna get a little bit more space for this side. Then I'm gonna go here to desktop layout, and I am going to select thumbnails and carousel, because I think this is a little bit better to have all the other images shown in here. You can also do thumbnails and they will stack like that, and all the images will show, but I like the thumbnail carousel better, so I'm gonna save that. And now it's looking something like this. As you can see, when you scroll this description part, the images remain stuck on the screen all the way, and you can actually go and browse through them. If you want that your thumbnails show right away above the fold, like right now you have to scroll down to get to the thumbnails, so you may not see the thumbnails if you don't scroll down. You can go back and you can select the small size. That will make also the part of the text a little bit larger, so you can add more text in there. And then you can turn this on, and this will bring everything above the fold. So now if I refresh the page, I have my image a little bit smaller, and then the thumbnails down below. And if I scroll down, I can see the rest of the description and other elements I have on the right side. In my case, I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make it medium again, because I like how that looks like. And then I'm going to inspect it and see the mobile version. And I think that on the mobile version, I can make this text a little bit smaller. I have that CSS added for the H1, so I can go down below and I can add a media query for the mobile size, and I can add there at media only screen and maximum width of 676 pixels. H1 should be 16 pixels. And I'm gonna save that. Let's see how that looks like. As you can see now, the title is much smaller, and then on desktop it is larger. But I think on mobile this is a bit too small, so I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna adjust it to say 18 pixels, and I am going to refresh that. And here it is with 18 pixels. Okay, so what I want to do next is to go and reduce a little bit these margins here. As you can see, they are quite far apart, and I want to bring everything back up. So for that, I'm going to inspect and I'm gonna look and see what are the elements there. And I can see that this is the container, which is product info container. I'm gonna take that and I'm going to add a new rule, and I'm gonna add a dot and then the class. And then after I'm gonna add div, and then all the divs inside this class will have a margin but of 0 pixels. No, let's do 5 pixels, right? And now everything is closer together. I'm gonna copy that. So this is before and this is after. It's a little bit tighter, and I'm gonna add also margin top because some of them have margin top, so 5 pixels. I'm gonna copy that. As you can see, the margins shrunk, so I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add it in this custom area. And if for some reason the button here doesn't let you save, so it stays grayed out after you've added your custom CSS, you can go ahead and turn one of these options on, and then it will allow you to save. You can save and then you can turn that setting back off and then save again. For some reason, this custom CSS area doesn't always trigger the save. So if you encounter this and you don't know how to fix it, you just have to change something else and then save and then change it back. So now after I've done that, this is how my product area looks like. I am using a sidecard, and if you are using the Dawn theme, I think you should use the sidecard like this one. And the sidecard already has a quantity selector. I don't want the quantity selector on the product page, because the customer can anyways adjust the quantity here on the sidecard. And probably when you have products like these, customers won't buy multiples of these. Anyways, you want to leave an option for them to adjust the quantity, but maybe not on the product page, because in here it's important that everything goes up so that you have a lot of information about the product and the call to action button right in the view above the fold. I will go ahead and I will remove this quantity selector. And if you have a lot of variants and you have here a lot of these buttons with variants, you can go and select the drop down, which will reduce the size of the variant area. And to do these things, you go back to your product information section in here, and where you have variants, if you have a lot of variants and you want to display a drop down, you can select drop down here. It will look a little bit better. In my case, I just have 2 options, so I just can leave them like that. But if you have multiple and you don't want to show like a lot of small buttons here, then you can select the drop down only when you have like fabric or colors and swatches. Then you can leave swatches in here. Then I'm gonna go to quantity selector and I'm gonna hide that, which will bring the button a bit higher. And then I'm gonna click on the button because I want to show a dynamic button, which will mean that if the customer has been using Apple Pay or Google Pay on his device, if he is browsing my website with their phone or with their laptop and they've been paying with those services, I want to display here like a pay with Apple Pay button or Google or whatever they have. And in order to do that, you're gonna go back to the buy buttons here. You're gonna open that section up and you're gonna select this show dynamic checkout buttons. And then another button will show up underneath. I'm going to save now and I'm going to explain. And now if you refresh the page, you're gonna have the add to cart button like that, and then underneath you're gonna have this dynamic button. It says buy now because it is in preview mode, but on a customer's device which has been used with Apple Pay or Google Pay, this will show that button. This can be PayPal, Apple, Google, whatever the customer has been using, and this makes the purchase process much easier and much faster because the customer already has all its data on that service. They just have to click buy now, and that service will open up and they will pay with that service. And if none of those options are available, they will be just sent to the checkout directly. So if you click add to cart, the side cart will open. If you click buy now and the device doesn't have any of those services, then this button will just send the customer directly to the checkout. Because we still want to save up space and bring the buttons as high as possible on mobile as well, I am going to do a couple of more changes. I am going to go and I'm going to remove this padding at the top here. And I'm going to remove this taxes included text because that's also included here on the side cart. You have taxes included or whatever settings you have on your store. The text is also displayed in here. It makes no sense to have it here as well. So let's go and remove this padding at the top. I'm gonna go back to this section, and at the bottom of the section we have here top padding. You can go and leave some there, like 5 pixels or something like that, and then at the bottom we can have more, but at the top is important because we want to have as much information on the page directly. And to remove this tax included, I am going to inspect it and I'm gonna go here and see what class it's using. So it's inside the price block. In order to remove it, I am going to take its class. So I'm going to click here, add the class here, and then just display none. This will hide it completely. I'm going to take this CSS again, and I'm going to go to my CSS section. I'm going to enter here and paste the CSS there. If this doesn't update, I'm going to just adjust this once more and wait for the bar to load, and then I'm going to save. And now I know that this is saved as well. As you can see, the tax text is not there anymore. This is how it looks right now. And there is like a lot of margin here, and I think it's from the pricing, but it might be from the variance. So no, it's not from the pricing. Let's see if it's from the variance. And you're just gonna inspect the element, and then yeah, this one has a lot of margin. And I'm just gonna select it here in the HTML and then add it down below. And with the selector here, I can say margin 0, and now it doesn't have a margin anymore. So this is the difference. I'm going to take this and I'm gonna go with it to my custom CSS section and hope that it works, because this was a little bit more complicated. Okay, this selector doesn't work. So you can just use this first selector without the ID. And now if I go back to the page, it looks like this. And it's much neater, much tighter and neater. And what I'm gonna do next is go and make this buttons round and maybe change the color. I'm gonna go to the themes settings and to buttons. And in here you have this option, corner radius. You want to go and adjust this until you get the effect you want. I kind of like it with 10, but you can go to 12 or 14. Make them a little bit rounder. If you want, you can go more, and these will become round like that. And I think this is actually the look I wanted. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. And I'm gonna go back to inspector. I'm gonna select this product form. And on top here we have product form, and it has a lot of margin. These are the settings from the theme, but I can override them. And I'm going to add in here margin top of 5 pixels, and I'm going to say important. So this is whenever you want to override something. I usually don't use it a lot when it's not needed, but sometimes in order to override a margin, you might need to add this to the end of your rule and make it more important than the rule that you try to override. And you're going to copy that. You're going to go back to the sections settings. So in product information and custom CSS at the bottom here, and paste it in there. Of course, it's going to say that it doesn't exist for some reason. So that's why we're going to take the class out and just leave the element like that. And again, to save, we're going to adjust that, and I'm going to save. This will save this CSS as well. And I'm gonna refresh the page, and now it's even closer, which looks nice. And on mobile, as you can see, we already have the button on the screen. We might need to adjust this spacing here a bit more so that we bring the button higher, or maybe remove this padding at the top completely. But this is much better. We already have most of the elements on the screen, and on desktop it looks nice already. There is a little bit too much of margin. This will most likely bring the add to cart on the screen if I remove this spacing here. So I'm gonna just inspect the element, and I'm going to add it here. I'm removing all the other classes, just leaving the main class of the element here. And I'm gonna say margin top 5 pixels. And I think that looks good. And I'm gonna take it to the custom section, and here it looks good as well. So I'm going to go back here to my product information section at the bottom, and I am going to add one more CSS rule, and here it is. I think now that's good. So we could of course go and remove some more of the spacings like this one or this one, but it's already on the screen. We have most of the things we need on the screen, which is nice, and we can start looking under the buttons. And because I want to keep this thematic of the theme with these colors, I want to change also the buttons to reflect this. And I'm gonna go to my section again, and I'm gonna try and select a color scheme that will fit that. So I think this one is the right color scheme. Now the button will change to that color, but I think it's a little bit too pink, or it needs to be a little bit darker in my point of view. So I'm going to save it like that for now. I'm going to go to settings and to colors, and then I'm going to look at this color scheme that I just used. And here where it says solid button background, I want to make it a little bit darker. I think this one is a little bit better, so I'm going to go and change this one as well. I'm going to take this shade, and I'm going to go to this one here. I'm going to change the main color because this one looks a little bit better. It's more contrasted. So now if I refresh the page, this one will be the same as this one. And now because I want to align the colors over all these elements, I want to change the color of this button, and I want to change the color of this label. I'm gonna go and change this one first. This one doesn't have a setting inside here, which is a shame, because this one does, and that's really easy to change. So in order to change this, you're just gonna go to theme settings, and in here you're gonna scroll down to badges, and you're gonna have settings for the badges, which are these. I'm going to change this one to this. And this is the sold out badge, which is going to be the same color. And I'm gonna save that, and that's that with the labels. But this one's over here, it's a different story. We have to go and edit some code. And I'm gonna go back to my theme, and I'm gonna go to edit code. And then inside here, I'm gonna look for this component product variant picker. So you're gonna search for variant, and you're gonna open component product variant picker, which is this one. Then you're gonna scroll to the line 60 or 61. And on this line here, where it says border, we want to say here, instead of foreground, we want to say button. And then we're gonna scroll down to where you see this line here with checked at the end, and you want to do the same thing. So you want to change foreground to button, and then you can save that. Now if I go back to my page and I refresh the page, now the variant pickers changed their color, so they look like that. I see that there is also a hover border, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna change that as well, and that is over here. So I'm gonna add here button as well. I'm gonna save, and now if I refresh the page, there is no more border. So this is just how the button looks like, and the border only shows when the button is white. And now everything is lined up in terms of colors. This long description here, I am going to remove it and I am going to add something else. So I'm just going to go to my product section here, to the description, and I'm just going to hide it because we're going to add it later down below. And instead of that, I'm going to just add one other block, which is named icon with text. And I'm gonna just move it above the share block so that it is right under the buy now button. And I'm gonna open that up and I'm gonna make it vertical. And first I'm going to say free shipping globally, and I'm going to change the heart to something that will represent shipping, which is a truck. Next, I'm going to add try it for free for 90 days. Make sure that if you add a statement like this, you can actually back it. And next, I'm gonna add another one, which is FDA cleared. And I'm going to make that bold as well. And I'm going to save. Now we can make this smaller and maybe we can make them in line. So to do that, we're gonna change it to horizontal. And I'm gonna save. I'm gonna inspect them so that I can take the class of the text so that I can go ahead and make it smaller. So this is the class, and I'm gonna say font size, and I'm gonna say 12 pixels. So maybe I don't want to make them bold. I'm gonna go and take the bold out. So I'm gonna just make it as normal text, and I'm going to save it as it is. Then I'm gonna refresh the page, and I'm going to change the font size for this element. So I'm gonna just enter that and say span, because we have a span here which contains the text. I'm gonna say font size 12 pixels. I think this is good enough, or maybe 13, and line height 1 so that the text is closer together, or 1.3, something like that. And I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna go with it back to my section settings in here at the bottom, and I'm going to add this CS as well. And this is how it looks now, and this is how it looks on desktop. And of course here you can say whatever you want. You can say that the checkout is secured, or whatever you think that the customer wants reassurance for. Here there is a section that we can use and actually helps improve a conversion rate. And I'm gonna go now back to my product information section here, and I'm gonna add that. I'm going to go and add another block, and the block name for that is Complementary Products. I'm gonna add this one right above the share because I want it to be displayed here. Well, now it doesn't display anything, so I'm just gonna save. And that is because I didn't set it up yet. So this works with products that have complementary products. So if you have another accessory for this product or something that goes well with it, you can use this section. And now it doesn't show anything because we actually want to go and install an app for it to work. I know it's a Shopify app and it's for free, and we anyways need to install it. And the app's name is Search and Discovery. I already have it here. If you don't have it, install it. You can use this for recommendations as well. And inside the app, you're gonna have the recommendation tab. And in here, you're gonna be able to select your product, which is this one. This one I've just imported again from the Essers when testing for that in stock widget. So this one is my product, and I'm gonna select it because I'm working on it. And then here here at the bottom, you're gonna be able to select complementary products. And I'm gonna pretend like these products that I have on the store are complementary products. So I'm gonna just select two of them and say that they work well with this one. You get what I'm going for. If you have a product that goes well with other two products, you're gonna be able to select those or even more. So you can select more and they will be registered as complementary products to this one. And I'm going to save that. And now if I go and I refresh the page down here, I'm going to have another section showing in a second. So you just have to refresh a couple of times until it starts working. So here it is. You're gonna have other 3 products that are recommended with this product, and because I want to just show 2 of them, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna remove one of them, and it turns out that this one was my product, so I'm going to remove one from this product, and I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna refresh the page, and now I should have 2 products showing at the bottom. Okay, now because I don't want to have such a big gap in here, I'm gonna go and I'm going to look at this section itself to see if it has any settings for those gaps. If this is the complementary section, I see here that I can set a number of products to show, so maximum products to show of 10. I can just go and say 2, and then I can go and select as many as I want from the filtering app. And you can show more and you can have a pagination, but I don't think having a lot of options in here will help a lot. 2 are enough. I don't see a way of setting the margins, and that means that I will have to go and do it manually with the CSS again. So you can play around with the settings here and you can change the title as well. But for me, at the moment, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. You can also add a button to them, but just having them on there will help a lot. And if they really relate and people see the value of combining them, then they might just add more products to their cart. And you can save. This is how it looks like now. And because I want to reduce the spacings in here, I'm gonna inspect again, and I'm gonna inspect here. And let's see what styling we have in there. First of all, this button here has a lot of padding, so let's remove that. I am going to copy this CSS here. I'm just gonna say padding 0. As you can see, everything was fixed, so I'm just gonna copy everything in there. But we're gonna have to remove these 2 lines, like this one, and just copy this styling. And after you copy that styling, you can go back to your product information section, and at the bottom here, I'm gonna enter again, and I'm gonna paste that styling. Again, I'm gonna move some stuff around so that the button becomes active so that I can save this CSS rules. And after saving, I go back to my page and it looks like this. It's a little bit better, but still a lot of gap in here. I am going to inspect it again and try to remove as many spacings as I can. So I can go here to, this is complementary slide, and I'm going to select the UL here, which has that purple gap. That's a flex gap. So I'm gonna just select this element here, this list element, and I'm going to add the class that I just copied from above. And this means that all the UL elements under this class will have this styling, and I'm gonna say gap 0, and that will reduce the gap to 0. As you can see, the gap is not there anymore. So I'm gonna copy this and head back to my section here and paste that styling as well. And now it looks a little bit better. So I'm looking at this gap here. If I can fix that, then I can just leave it as it is. You can go and try and remove as many gaps, and you can try to make it as neat as you can. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So I'm just gonna remove the gap from this one. I'm just gonna add here that class and say gap 0, and I'm just gonna leave it like that. But you can go and search for all the gaps, all the margins, and so on. So I'm just gonna copy this and go with it here, add it in there. Adding that last rule, this is how it looks now. You can go ahead and customize it as much as you want. Now the customer can go and add the product from here, and they can also go down below, and if they find something interesting here, they can click on add to cart, and they will add the complementary product to cart as well from this product page, and that can increase the cart's value. Now, because I don't want to show this image as my main image, I want to show an image of someone using the product. That's always better to have than a generic image like this one. I'm gonna go to my product page, and I'm going to change a couple of things. On my product page, as I have two variants of this product, and these are set just as an example because I wanted you to see how a variant switcher would work. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna open them up by clicking on them. So this is the white version. If I click on it, I'm gonna have a different detail page where I can actually set the image, the variant image. So if I click here, change, I can select a different image for the white variant. And then for the black variant, if I would have a black variant, I would go down below and I would click that, and I would just change an image for that variant. And now if I go back to my product page, this one will be replaced by the image that I've just selected. And this is how it looks like after changing that variant image. Now, when it comes to images, if you want to leverage SEO, you will have to do a couple of changes. And first of all, when you upload images to your products, you should name the files. You can do this as well, but if you have them on your computer, you can name them correctly. And the way to do that is to, instead of having something generic like this, you can name this file the name of your product. Like, we're gonna copy the exact same thing that we have there, and I'm gonna name the file like that. I have the keyword in it, and then at the end I can add a pipeline and I can say held in hand. Then I'm going to copy everything and I'm going to add it as an alt text as well, and then I'm going to save. This will help people that have disabilities and they use their computer differently. They are relying on the alt data from your images to understand what that image is. And not only that, this also helps search engines index your information better. So you should actually rename all your product images and all your alt texts and give them as much information as you can. This is one example, but let's go to another one. Let's go here, and here you can say, instead of something generic like that, you can say hair removal handset. You can say to products frontal view. You're gonna copy that and you're gonna paste it in the alt text as well. You're gonna save, and then you are going to do this to all of them and describe, like this one can be inside the box and so on. If, for example, you have a black version here, you can say the black version. You can describe the accessories that are in the pictures. And what you also want to make sure is that your images are good quality. In this case, these images are not that good. I mean, 800 by 800 is good for desktop and for mobile, but if I want to zoom inside this picture, so we have this option here to zoom inside. If I'm gonna zoom, you can see the quality is not that good. For a product picture, you should have at least 1500 pixels by 1500 pixels. If I go here to this product where I've added images that are a bit larger, you can automatically see that it already looks a little bit better. And if I go and zoom in, you can actually see it's a better quality picture, and this one is 1200 pixels. So you should upload images that are as high quality as you can. And because we are here and we are talking about SEO, you can scroll down at the bottom where you have the search engine listing. And in here, you are going to again look at the keywords. So we want to keep this, which is our main keyword, but you can add also supporting keywords in here in the title, and make sure that you edit this meta description. This is an excerpt from your product description. You don't want to keep it like it is. This one should have a maximum of 160 characters. So make sure that you are adding in here something that will describe your product, will contain high volume relevant keywords, and a call to action at the end. Everything inside this 160 characters. And don't forget about the URL handle. This is also important. If it's gibberish, it's not gonna help you. You want to have, again, the keyword that you want to rank for in there. So in this case, we have it. But if you want to have a supporting keyword and describe a little bit more your product and the URL itself, you can go and add whatever keywords you want to add in there, and the redirect from the current URL will be automatically generated at the bottom. Make sure this is checked when you are saving. I'm not going to save that, but if you do, just make sure this is checked and then you save. This is what we have so far. Now at the bottom here, I want to go and I want to add a review widget. You should sprinkle around review widgets as much as you can. Because I am on a free plan on Judge Me, I don't have access to a couple of review widgets that I want to use. Let me go there and I'm gonna show you. So Judge Me has more reviews. This one is the one that I would want to use, but this one is available only on the paid plan. And this would have went here underneath the buy button right here, and it would show just one review, which is a nice touch to have here underneath the button. If you are on a paid plan or with Judge Me, you can go ahead and add it because that's a good thing to have. But instead of that, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna add a free widget here at the bottom, which is also a carousel. So to do that, I'm gonna go underneath this product information section, and underneath it, I'm going to add a different section, and I'm going to go to apps, and I'm going to add this review carousel section, which will be displayed right here. Now, this is how it looks like. I can go ahead and modify the design a little bit. You can go ahead and change some settings by going here to widgets and then to review carousel and customize. And whenever you're changing things in here, because if you go to your product page, it will not change until you do this. After you change your settings, so let's say you want to show it like this, and you want to have 3 reviews on desktop and everything else is set. So it should look something like this, right? You're gonna save that. And if you refresh the page, nothing will happen. This is what I was doing before. So if you want the change to show, you're gonna click on install. When it loads, you just go to that product page. And if you scroll down, now it changed. I don't know why it does that, but this is the way you can make it actually work. So now if I refresh the page, the layout is updated as well. So now we have these 3 reviews showing directly here underneath the product details, which is great, and it's going to show some social proof. We want to add the product description because, as you maybe noticed, we don't have a product description yet on this page. And in order to create a product description, you will have to go through a couple of steps, one of which is taking whatever your supplier gave you. Like if you have a description like this that has some specifications and some benefits, whatever you have, copy it and go to a blank note or a text document. Then go to your Google Ads account in the keyword planner and gather the top keywords you want to rank for. And then you can go and compile a list. If you scroll down, you're going to find keywords that you might be interested in. If you want to find more keywords, just change this main keyword and you're going to get more suggestions. And once you found keywords that you're interested in, look at the monthly search, look at the competition. Once you have them, you just copy them. Then once you have your keyword research done, you have your keywords at the bottom, and then you have the information you have from your supplier here at the top. You can take them and you can ask GPT to create a description for your product containing all the important features and informations you have here at the top, and to include these keywords that you want to rank for also in that description. This information I have from my supplier, and I have this prompt created. So write me a product description of 200-400 words that will contain all the important facts from this product information. I'm gonna paste it in here. And then I said include also these keywords, and I've added the keywords that I wanted. If you want to tweak this prompt, you can give more suggestions to make your description more personalized, but I'm just gonna do it like that because I just need the text and I need it to contain these keywords that I chose. So I'm gonna hit enter and I'm gonna see what GPT is gonna give me. Let's see how many words. So a description of 290 words, which is okay. I'm gonna read it through. I'm gonna make sure that everything is right and that my keywords are included. You wanna make sure this sounds human, and I'm gonna select everything, and then I'm gonna go and I'm gonna paste it back in my product description right here. I'm I'm gonna just paste it in there. And because I see it has some formatting, I don't want it to be a list. I'm just gonna click on it, and then I am going to remove that formatting by clicking this. And now I just have the description as it should be. So I'm going to save that. And once I've saved, I will have to see where I can add this description, because we don't have a description section. Now we have the description, which is going to rank for those keywords, but we need to post it on the page. And to do that, I'm going to add a different section on here. So underneath this product information section, I'm going to go and I'm going to add this collapsible content section, where I'm just going to leave a little bit of padding at the top. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Now, if you want and your design allows, you can change the color scheme. You can make it like that, and you can change it more. Let's see how that looks like. So I'm going to refresh the page. And now at the bottom, we have this collapsible content section. I am going to remove this. I'm going to remove this title because I don't need it. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove this title over here. And I am going to go back and look at this first element. First, I'm gonna remove the check mark. I don't want to have a check mark in front of it. And I'm gonna say product description. And in here, so I'm gonna click on this icon and I am going to go back and click the product here. And I'm going to select description because I want to show the description in this tab, but I also want to have it open directly. And I'm going to save that. And then inside here in collapsible content, you're going to click on that and you are going to check this open first collapsible row so that the description is directly in view. And now I'm going to save that. Okay, so now at the bottom, we're going to have this collapsible row, which is open and it has all our description. We can of course go and style it a little bit the description, and now it looks like this. This is the section. I've added a couple of images in there. You can add GIFs or videos, and you can just add it there in the description, and it's just going to show up on your page. And at the bottom here, where I have this other two collapsible rows, I've added features and specs and shipping and returns. And as shipping and returns might be the same for all the products, this information can be just added directly on the customizer. So if we go to the customizer here and shipping and returns, if you have a text for shipping and returns, you can just add it in here. Let's say this is your returns text and you are just going to display the same thing all over on all the products. So if I'm gonna open now the shipping and returns tab, it's gonna have this text that I just added. You can also format it like the one above. But in feature and specs, because these are different on all the products, you may want to add unique information. And I cannot add it in the customizer, because if I add it in the customizer, then it's going to be visible on all the other products. Like if I go here to shipping and returns, I'm going to have the same text because I've added this text here in the customizer. So in order to have unique information in one of these tabs, like we have the description, for example, the description is unique for every product. We need to add a meta field to connect it here, because in the case of the description, we've connected here the description, which is an object that brings in the text that you've added in that description. So if we want to add here features and specs that are unique, we're gonna need to create a new dynamic source, which will be a meta field, a product meta field. And to do that, I'm just gonna click on this and I'm going to add meta field, right? This is going to direct me to create this meta field. This is a product meta field, and I'm gonna just name it specs like that. You can name it whatever you want, and you can add a description if you want. And then you're gonna select a type, and I'm gonna select the rich text type, this one over here. And then I'm just going to save it. And now every time I go to a product page and I go at the bottom here, I'm gonna have a new field. Like I have the description at the top, I have a new field here. So in this field, if I click it, I can add text. And I'm going to go and I'm going to bring the specs. So once you have the specs, you're just going to paste them in there. You're going to style them as you want. Maybe you want to make them bullet points. Maybe you want to have them numbered or whatever you want to do. And when you're done, you're going to save. And these are the specs for this product. Now, if I go to a different product and I open that up, I'm going to see that at the bottom, I have the same Metafield, but this one is empty because I didn't add the specs yet for this product. So I'm going to go back to my customizer and to this features in specs tab here, where I want the specs to go. And I'm going to connect the dynamic source that I've just created, and I'm going to look for it. It's right here, specs. I'm just going to select this one and it's going to go here. And now inside this tab, always, I'm going to display the information that I've added here at the bottom, like this one. So if I go now and I refresh the page, let me preview it again because it might not work if I don't. So if I preview it again and I go at the bottom here, underneath the description, I'm going to have features and specs, and I can see that the specs are listed there, and the shipping and returns is also populated. Now, if I go to a different product and I open that up, I can see that there is no specs in here because I didn't add the specs, and I didn't add the description as well. Only this one works because I've added it earlier to this product in the customizer, and that's why it's available on all the products. Maybe you want to make this wider. You just have to go here, inspect it, find the container that has the margins. The yellow is for margins and green is for padding. You can see that there is a small padding and then a big margin. And if I click this element which has the margin, you can see it there. And if I add here a new rule and I say max with 100%, now the collapsible row gets wider. I'm just going to copy this rule here and go with it here to the collapsible content section, and I'm gonna go at the bottom where I have the custom CSS. I'm gonna open that up and I'm going to paste it in here. Now this changed and I can save. Now after refreshing the page, this is my section, which looks nicer. It is a bit wider. Maybe I want to make this text a bit bigger. I'm going to inspect that and I'm going to add here a new rule. After selecting this element, of course, this is an H3 accordion title, and I can add here a new rule, and I can say this can be font size, and you can make it bigger, 18 it is, and then font weight 600, so that it is a little bit bold. You can select that as well and take it to the section and add it here at the bottom, and then you can save that. And when you're done styling, you're gonna have the description displayed here. It's gonna work the same. It's gonna have the first collapsible row open with your description, and then at the bottom, you're gonna have features and specs, and then you can have this shipping and return. Of course, you can add more of these if you want to, but these are like the ones that are actually needed. Okay, at the bottom here, after all this information, I want to add some more social proof. And in here, I'm going to add the main review widget. We have this one here, which is like a snippet. And we have this one over here, but we want to add at the bottom the main review section. And to do that, you're going to go to Customizer again. We have here also the related product section, but it's not populated yet. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But before the related products, I am going to add the review widget. This one is the main review widget, which is going to be populated here. And I'm going to save that. Let's see how that looks like. And this looks quite nice. It's already styled. If you want to style this, you have to go to Judge Me and customize it. Okay, now that we have the review section, we want to look at that recommendation section as well, related products. This one doesn't populate because we need to go and we need to add some related products to this product over here. And to do that, we're gonna go to the apps again. So in apps, we're gonna go to search and discovery. We can see that we have here complementary products, but we don't have any related products. I'm going to click on the product that I want to work on, and it's this one over here. And here are the complementary products, which work fine. But at the bottom, we're going to have related products. And again, you're going to go inside your store and you're going to find the products that are related. I'm going to select that one as well. Anyways, they will be added in here. And this one is not going to work. So I'm just going to remove it and I'm going to save. Now, if I go back, I can see that this product has complementary products and it has related products as well. And now if I go to my product page and I refresh, I am going to get a new section, which is here above. So right under the description, we have this other section, which is going to recommend other products that I have in my store. We have to go and edit it a little bit, style it a little bit because it doesn't look good. But other than that, it works. So I'm going to related products here. And I'm gonna add some padding top, like 20 pixels maybe. And I'm gonna save that. You can change the title and you have a bunch of other settings in here if you want to play around with them. So now we have this section here as well. Actually, this section should go underneath the customer reviews because you don't want to send the customer to a different page or confuse them. This should be like the last section. So you're just gonna have to move it underneath the reviews app. Okay, now we have almost everything that we need. One thing I would add more, and that is a FAQ section. And that is actually the same section as this one over here. If you want to reuse this one, it's actually simple to do. So you're gonna go to your sections here again, and you're gonna go to your collapsible content section. I didn't know that you can do this. I would just copy the JSON behind it, but now I know that you can do this as well. So you can click on this section and here you have 3 dots and you have duplicate. So you can just duplicate the section and go back here. Now you have 2 of them. You can drag this one down and I would add it underneath the reviews because when people are looking at reviews, they try to figure out something about the product. Maybe they have a question in mind and you can go and answer it underneath inside an FAQ section. You can name this FAQ. You can leave the styling as it is and you can remove then. Click on this first one. You can go and you can remove the source by just clicking on it and then a backspace. This will remove the description from there and you can add your answer. Then instead of the heading here, you can add question. You're gonna have your answer. And if we go back and we go to collapsible content, we can say that the first should not be open. And we're just gonna have this title at the top, or actually this one should go underneath here. This is the title. So you can say title size medium. And you have one question there. If you want to add in front of it an icon, you can go and select your icon from here. You can just add whatever icon you want in front. You can have your questions and I can add other questions like that, as many as I need. Then I can save. If I refresh the page, this is the FAQ section and you're gonna have the question on top and then the answer underneath and you can add as many as you want. So here it is. This is our product page. We have all the necessary elements. We have the social proof. We have all the information nicely laid out. We have reviews again, we have FAQs, we have related products, everything that you should have on your product page. You can, of course, style it more. This is the mobile version. The most important thing, we have the add to cart button here in view. So it's not underneath. I don't have to scroll for it a lot. Then everything is mobile friendly. We have the sections, the reviews, description, features and specs underneath this collapsible rows, queues and related products. I think this encapsulates everything that you should have and the order you should have it on your product page. And of course, if you want to go overboard, you can go and create more sections like this one. This one is created with a multi-column section here. So you can go and create sections like you can add a video at the bottom. This is also a free section here inside the Dawn theme. Then you can go and create more multi-column sections like this one or like this one. All of them are free and you can add them in here. So the multi-column is the one that I use the most, like in this one and this one and this one. This one is image with text and you can go ahead and style them and change their color themes, and so on until your product page answers all the questions your customer might have, but make sure not to add too much information or not to add unnecessary information. Now that you know how to customize your product page, I've actually went and analyzed over 900 product pages and made a video about all the best practices, and you can see it in the video showing there.